DeJuan Bryant, and I'm a Ghostbuster cadet. All right, I don't have to. All right, hi. Hi, I'm DeJuan Bryant, and I'm a Ghostbuster rookie. Intern? Oh no, I've always wanted to be a Ghostbuster since I was like a kid. Just watch movies and run around with the toys and chase kids around the neighborhood. Ghosts? But nah, I don't believe in that shit. What the fuck is this? This is a ghost. Huh? Oh, so what? What? Hold on. What? So which button? This one? Oh shit. My bad, my nigga. To be fair, I ain't never even used one of them before. What up, what up? What it do? It's your boy GANJAWEEN back with another review, and thanks for tuning in to Blazing with Ganja, where we always blazing something amazing. And we made it. Cheers all around. It's the end of GANJAWEEN. We did it, y'all. Listen. It's been a long time. We made it through all the final destinations. Like I said, we was gonna do. I ain't even think we was gonna do it myself, but we did it. So we here today. We doing Final Destination 5 to end out this GANJAWEEN. Appreciate y'all for joining me. And like I said, it's Final Destination 5. Came out in 2011. This one was directed by Stephen Quayle. Directed some other things, some low things like Into the Storm. He was actually a second unit director for James Cameron on things like Titanic, Avatar, some things you might have heard of. And with Final Destination 5, I like to say this movie is a return to form. All right, and I mean that in the style of tone. All right, because this movie is a little darker, and I would even say it might be the even darkest of the franchise. Because I think what they tried to do was make up a little bit for the last entry. Like what I said, the last entry, the Final Destination Part 4, was a little bit of a downstep. You know what I mean? Not as good as the rest of them. That's why I think they even went a little bit darker with the tone. Maybe even a little too dark in places, but it fits for this movie. All right, so for Part 5, this time around, and let's start off with something interesting that they did. This is another entry that was 3D, but this time around, the 3D is much, much better. By this time, Avatar had came out, we were into the 3D groove. They actually shot this one for 3D. The whole thing was written and intended for 3D from the inception. So it actually read a lot better. And this time around, we follow Sam. Sam is played by Nicholas D'Agosto, and he's actually joined by his girlfriend named Molly. And Molly is played by Emily Bell. They both work for a little company. The company is going on a little retreat. They all hop on a bus, and when they get on the bus, they actually go across a bridge. And this time, the accident is crazy because it's the bridge. And remember, like I said on a few of the other ones, we went from a plane to a car crash to a roller coaster incident to a race car incident. Now we're on a bridge, and a bridge incident is actually crazy because people go across bridges every day. And that's the thing about the Final Destination franchise. It's best when they find the most mundane, everyday things that happen to us. Like I said, every day that they can just blow out of proportion and make the craziest thing to make you think twice about doing these things every day. And with this bridge collapse, it's crazy because, of course, my man Sam, he has this premonition just like all the other characters across the 4 movies, and he sees some crazy stuff. This bridge collapse is insane, even the way it looks. When a girl said something about it the other night when we were watching it, she was like, this actually looks really good. And then watching it after all these years again for the first time, it looked incredible. The photorealism of the bridge falling apart and everything, some of the effects of like the kills and everything like that just look superb. And a couple of the kills during that are crazy. One dude, the bridge, as it breaks apart, the bus that they're on, a guy is actually on the bus as it's falling. He rolls to the front of the bus and smacks the glass. He stays actually on the glass the entire time that the bus is falling. It's insane. Another character falls from the bridge, and so is their entire fall. They're impaled by a boat under them, like the sail on a boat, so it goes right through them and it comes at the screen in 3D. It's nuts. Another character actually played by David Kirshner, who's actually usually a funny character. He's playing a little bit of serious role in this movie. His character is on the bridge, and as he's hanging on for dear life, there's actually a hot oil tank sitting beside the bridge with spills all over him. He actually even slides out his skin, his fingers slide out his skin and everything. It's crazy. That scene is actually really good. I like it. So of course, we're on part 5 by this time. You know the deal at this time. You know the rules. He's gonna go crazy. He has the premonition. Tell everybody to get off the goddamn, tell everybody to get off the bridge. Nobody believes him at first, but then of course some characters get off the bridge with him. Nobody believes him at first, but of course some characters get off the bridge with him. And just like usual, people start dying left and right. But this time, like I said, it's a little darker, it's a little meaner, and you can even feel it as you're watching the movie. There are a couple of scenes that play out, and you can just feel the tone shift. Like, because across a couple of the other ones, like I said, the humor started to creep in, the camp started to creep in. All of that is bled out of this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a scene or two where, yeah, there's humor there, but across the whole movie, there's just a tone of bleakness. Another thing that returns on this movie is the cop presence. They're actually being followed by an FBI agent named Agent Block, who's played by a really good actor named Courtney B. Vance. And to have the cop presence come back in is a nice touch, because like it would happen. Of course, somebody's thinking that a big crazy incident is going to happen, then everybody surrounding it starts dying and everything like that. There would be a heavy cop presence around. So to see Courtney B. Vance play this character and to follow them throughout this story is a nice touch. So then we get to the best death and scene in the entire franchise. All right, there's a character named Peter. His girlfriend, her name is Candace, I believe. Candace is a gymnast. So then we have a whole scene in this gymnasium as she's on the, I can't even think of what they're called at this point, but she's on these lateral bars and she's doing flips. But before even all of that happens, there's an AC unit hanging over her, which drops a screw. The screw drops onto one of the lateral bars. This scene made me squirm the first time I seen it more than any scene I've ever squirmed in my life. And I've seen all, at this point, 10 Saw movies. And I'm over here squirming the most that I've ever squirmed in my life in a Final Destination movie over a screw on a balance beam. It's crazy. Yeah, that's what it's called, a balance beam. Ha! So as she's on this balance beam and the screw is on the balance beam, she's flipping all over it and twirling around, just missing it inch by inch. But of course, another thing that's great about the Final Destination franchise is, as we're so focused on that, the death comes from a total left field way. She actually goes to the bars, and as she's flipping around on that, some gets blown in her face. She flips off of that, like messes up her landing and crunches in half. It's insane. The yelp I let out in the theater probably would have made anybody laugh. After that, we have another quick fun scene with another character who's actually another dickhead character. There's a lot of dickhead characters across the franchise. This guy goes to an acupuncture place, and as he's in this room with this massage lady, a lot of things ensue. She's sticking him with all kind of needles. He falls over on the needles. There's oil all over him that's flammable, so he's trying to inch away from some flames. It's hilarious. His death comes out of left field. Something falls on his head. The movie's in 3D, so of course it splats all across the screen. Incredible. And as all of this is going on, we have the return of the almighty Tony Todd playing the character Bloodworth. And this time on this movie, I noticed Bloodworth is actually much more of a help than he's been through the entire franchise, because he himself is actually at each death, cleaning up each death, especially since he's a coroner. But on this movie in particular, he's at each death. And then the characters even notice, like, who's that guy? So then when they talk to him, he gives them a bunch of answers and whatnot. And then he even throws a curveball into the series for the first time. And it's funny that we get to part 5 and we finally get this curveball. They ask him a question like, so are you saying if I take a life, does that mean that my life is spared? So basically they figure out, all right, say literally, if I kill this person, then I get their years in life. Like I basically take their place. It's crazy because that wasn't there before. Just a little bit of way to play with the plan. I actually like it. Like I said, it's something to throw a curve in. Anything to make it a little different. Another death that everybody always raves over is the laser eye correction death. The character goes to the laser eye correction place. Of course, this would tear anybody up. It would tear me up, especially because I have a thing with my eyes. I've had a thing with my eyes ever since I saw a movie called Fire in the Sky when I was a child, and they stuck a needle in this dude's eye. Aliens, they strapped him down to a table and stuck a needle in this dude's eye. And ever since then, I've been fucked up about my eyes. But the girl, she goes to the place, and then she's strapped down to the table. She might not even be strapped down to the table. This is what I remember because the scene is so terrorizing. And then, of course, the machine gets cranked up, so the laser starts cutting her, and her eye is ridiculous. You have got to see this movie if you haven't, just to see that scene. And the reality is, there's not really that much to this movie. Yes, a couple of other characters die, but I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point, you've seen it before. It's five Final Destination movies. Another character's death is another character's death at this point. The interesting thing is the finale, because like I said, with them throwing the new curve in there that you actually can't kill somebody to take their life and take their place. Like the character that I mentioned earlier, his name is Pete, and Pete is actually played by Miles Fisher, who has a great Tom Cruise impression. I think he did it on a superhero movie. But if you haven't seen it, look up Miles Fisher Tom Cruise impression on YouTube. I promise you, you'll thank me later. His character, Pete, he actually meets up with Sam and Molly at a restaurant, because Sam actually has a restaurant. I think he's in culinary school and whatnot, and he has a restaurant that he works at. So him and Molly are there eating, and then Pete meets up with them. Pete actually shows up with a gun, because the whole finale is set up to where Pete wants to kill Molly to get her years, because his girlfriend Candace died, and he feels that it's only right that Sam's girlfriend dies, because Sam got them into all of this for some illogical reason in a crazy person's head. Trust me. So just to have that little mix up of a finale and them running all around that kitchen and him trying to kill her, and then Sam trying to protect her, and then actually Agent Block, Courtney B. Vance, comes back in and saves all of them by shooting Pete. It's actually, like I said, really fun. And then the craziest part of the movie, all right, when you think everything is said and done, that was the whole finale, and then we get into the ending, which, like I said, I like the ending to part 1. I thought that was my favorite, but re-seeing this ending of part 5, the ending to part 5 might actually be my favorite of all, because it throws you for a whole curve. When you're sitting there with them, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this movie, I'm about to spoil the fuck out of it. So, when you think everything is said and done, the whole entire movie from scene 1, Sam and Molly have been talking about they are taking a trip. I think they've even mentioned they are taking a trip to Paris. They are on this plane at the end of the movie, finally going to Paris, and they look over and they see the characters from part 1, Devin Sawad, throwing the fit because he just had his premonition about the plane that they're actually on and it's gonna explode. They get thrown off the plane. Sam sitting there looking at Molly like, what the hell was that? She's like, I don't know. Puts on her little headphones, she's about to go to sleep. And then he realizes, oh shit, that dude just had a premonition. And he looks out the window. They're already off the ground by then. By the time the fucking plane starts exploding, she gets ripped out. This shit is crazy. And the funny thing is, as the plane explodes, a tire goes flying off the plane. A character from earlier in the movie, who was actually saved by another character, is standing there on the ground at a bar, at a party for the character who saved him's death. As he's standing there at this party, the tire from the plane comes and crushes him. It's actually really hilarious and dark. Yeah, that's Final Destination 5 in a nutshell. I am so glad we made it through this Ganjaween, and that y'all join me for each episode of the Final Destination Ganjaween extravaganza. I hope y'all like each costume. We're gonna do this next year. It's probably gonna be called Ganjaween 2, Ganja's Revenge, or something like that. I don't know, Ganjaween 2, the Ganjaning. I don't know. But like I said, please like and subscribe and join me for the next video. Do y'all want to see Venom? I don't know if I'm gonna do Venom. Let me know down there. But peace.